west of where we lived, but directions are hard to remember in Pennsylvania. But we said, let's go down by the river, because that's where we used to fish. It was catch and release. You couldn't keep anything unless, I'm talking trout. You know, trout don't get that big. So you couldn't keep anything unless it was like 20-some inches or bigger. So it had to be really big to keep it. And so we said, let's go down. We had a lot of memories, you know. So we walked down. We're looking around, looking at and listening to the river and stuff. And we looked up, and just as we looked up, we noticed there was the sun was over to our right. So I can't remember what direction it was now, and it was kind of hitting the mountain. And to the left, we noticed there was like a fog, or clouds were starting to blow in through the valley. And that's the way storms happen in Pennsylvania. You can be in one valley, not have any next valley, and you can just watch them blow down the valleys. And it came blowing up the valley. We're like, man, that is so cool, except we're standing in it. And we're just getting ready to book it, because we figured if we moved fast enough, we could get at least to the tunnel. And we turned to leave, and we saw this flash of light against the mountain. And we're like, what on the roof was that? We looked up, and we were raised here. We'd never seen eagles growing up. Matter of fact, they died off from the DDT and things like that. There hadn't been a bald eagle for years. We look up, and we're like, that's a big bird. And then it turned again, and its head flashed again. We're like, oh my goodness, that's a bald eagle. And we sort of trying to take pictures of it. And we watched it, and as we watched, the storm kept coming in, the eagle was flying. We're like, you know, what's that thing going to do? We've heard stories, but what's it going to do? And the storm blew in faster and harder. Started blowing in, and the sun was slowly diminishing, and the eagle was flying right for the storm, and we're kind of turning, because we're going to get wet. So we're turning to walk and look at the same time, and sure enough, that storm comes up, and just like it talks about in the Bible, and just like, you know, the stories we hear about eagles, you know, it flew right into the storm. And it's kind of where I thought Martin was going to go with the boat thing. And if you're out on the sea in a ship, and the big waves come, you don't want to try to run away from it. You really want to go at it and try to get over it before it breaks, you know. So I figured that's what he's going to say, the boat turning went in, but no, they're casting off things. And this eagle, though, flew right into the storm. That's really cool. And as it hit the storm, in front of the storm, instead of going into it, it just kind of went, I mean, its wings, the pinions of its wings were just stretched out, and it wasn't flapping. It just had its wings out. It just went, soared up to the top, and almost disappeared. Man, it just went up so fast and so quick, and it was safe up there. It was amazing. And you guys know, or maybe you don't know me, but if you know me, I like to write. I found that the best experiences, the best things to write about in your life are true life experiences, because if you write about things that actually happen to you, that it's amazing how universal those things are. We're really not as different as we think we are. So I saw that and immediately I'm like, there is a song in this. I mean, there's just a song in this. So sat down and wrote it down. I mean, I still feel it, because it's just the power of the moment. And, rise up on eagle's wings. And I thought, because it was quiet, and there's this quietness in the flight of the eagle, I thought I better start off soft. So I began to bring it down, and I thought, what am I going to write about? I could take scripture and write, you'll rise up on wings like eagles and all this stuff. And I thought the best thing as a songwriter that I could do was to really try to get into the head of the eagle. Really try to think, has anyone ever written a song about this based on what is the eagle thinking? Jenny, you ever thought about that? What is the eagle thinking? And it hit me. If I were an eagle, what would I sing? What would I sing about? What would I sing about?